The origin of GPS, from Cold War military tech to everyday maps. Today, we rely on GPS for everything, finding the fastest route, tracking deliveries, guiding airplanes, and even locating lost phones. But this invisible network in the sky began not as a convenience for civilians, but as a Cold War military project designed for war. The seeds of GPS were planted in 1957, when the Soviet Union launched Sputnik, the world's first artificial satellite. Scientists at MIT noticed they could track Sputnik's orbit by measuring shifts in its radio signal using the Doppler effect. If they could track a satellite from the ground, they realized, then perhaps satellites could be used to track objects on the ground. The U.S. military ran with the idea. In the 1960s, the Navy developed the transit system. It's an early satellite navigation method used by submarines to guide nuclear weapons. It worked, but it was slow and limited. A more precise global system was needed. In 1973, the Pentagon approved the creation of Navstar GPS. It would be a constellation of satellites orbiting Earth, continuously transmitting signals that receivers could use to pinpoint their location anywhere on the planet. The genius was in using time. Each satellite carried an atomic clock, and by measuring how long it took for signals to arrive, a GPS receiver could calculate exact distances. With signals from at least 4 satellites, it could determine latitude, longitude, altitude, and even time. Throughout the 1980s, GPS was built and operated strictly for the U.S. military. It guided aircraft, tanks, and naval fleets, providing an unmatched strategic advantage. But then came a turning point. In 1983, after a tragic incident where a Korean Airlines passenger jet was shot down after straying off course, President Ronald Reagan announced that GPS would one day be made available for civilian use to prevent such disasters. By the 1990s, GPS was open to the public, though initially with reduced accuracy under a policy called selective availability. That restriction was lifted in 2000, unleashing the full potential of GPS for everyday life. Suddenly, car navigation systems, smartphones, and mapping apps transformed how we moved and interacted with the world. Today, GPS powers everything from ride-sharing apps to precision farming, from financial transactions to disaster relief. What began as a secret Cold War weapon has become a silent, global utility, one of the most important technologies of the modern age.